Alright, I'm recording.
Welcome to the May 18th stand-up for the Gray Area team. This is week 2 for the production studio. As usual, everybody's going to go around. They're going to they're just going to say their name. They're going to talk about what they've worked on since we last met up, what they're planning on working today, and if there are any potential roadblocks that they think they're going to encounter that they might need help with. So, Garrett starts off.
Alright, Garrett. This past week I've been doing a lot of research, looking at link queue and the dependency injection that Charles hooked up. This coming week, probably some research, but also looking at whatever Charles will give me. Nothing's really staying my way.
Frank?
I'm Frank, design. I have been collecting pictures, overhead maps. I'm even trying to get some more maps from some military resources to work on a paper map for the base, and I'll be scaling it to the paper map. That's kind of my plan, was to draw out the base today. And like I said, I'm also trying to get some maps from the military. So we'll see what happens. Old maps they might have had for the base. So some TPCs or some ONCs or something. So.
My name is Marcos Escobar. I'm on the design team. This past week I've been participating in discussion with the design team, as well as going over the Exosoft, looking at the user stories and seeing what should and needs to be put on the Exosoft account. Today I'm going to continue discussing with the design team and going over user stories as well.
Don Chevis, I'm the project lead. I've been looking at the user stories. I've been making sure everybody's kind of settling into their roles, making sure that all our paperwork's backed up, making sure everybody's hooked into all of our communication. And then I'm also going to be kind of helping us figure out what our first actual development sprint, as opposed to the planning sprint we're currently in, looking at what our development sprint's going to be today, and also making sure, any last things that need to be, any last T's that need to be crossed or I's that need to be dotted gets done. And I'll also be reviewing both the work Charles has been doing, and since Charles can get a little later, I'll speak to what he's been doing. He's been working on building the terrain that we're going to be using, so he took some topographical data and put that into Unity, and he's been working with Michael on smoothing that out, making it a little more playable and engine ready. And so we're going to be looking at dropping in probably the character controller from the Grey Jam and seeing how that works, and hopefully we'll have a build by the end of the day where you're actually able to walk around his terrain tile, and then we'll have to start answering questions about how we want to handle our distance rendering and things like that for optimization. And I don't think there's anything that's going to be too difficult. It's just going to be a lot of talking to the other people in the team, seeing what we need to get done and what resources we'll need to make sure everything gets made.
Zachary, I'm a programmer, and like Garrett, I just did a bunch of research of the stuff that Charles wanted us all to go over before we started. And I guess I looked over the user stories a bit, and that's pretty much it.
I'm Joseph Chetwood. I'm the UI designer for the team. I'm newly on, so I haven't done a whole lot of work yet, but I've been looking into different styles for our UI art, and I've been trying to come up with things that would be useful for the player to be able to access.
Hey, I'm Travis. I'm part of the design team. I've been mostly looking at making new user stories, talking with the other designers, and I've been thinking up a few concepts with items and tools. This coming week we'll probably look at the map that Charles made, and the what is it, the SIP, not the SIP build,
Gray Jam.
Yeah, the game jam build, and nothing's really standing in my way.
Dash, game designer as well. Basically, I've been working on doing more research on user story and the whole Epic system to get a more understanding of it and all. I also finished up the asset list for the item survival kit for what we have missing and stuff that's broken. So that's up on the drive as well. This week I'll be basically working on more user story and whatever Epic task we are assigned. And there is currently nothing standing in my way.
Yeah, we're gonna, Doug's gonna be swinging by, at the end of production class today. We're gonna be talking with him. One of the seems to be on the docket is, going over properly, doing tasks, not in AxoSoft, but in Scrum. And then also, that's probably gonna lead into, how we're going to be doing our sprint planning meeting, for the, second sprint. And then that way we can kind of figure out, make sure that we have, that we're ready to go through the process at the start of week 3. So that way we can do all our planning that Friday, get everything that we want ready for in the backlog, so that way we don't have to, essentially, so we can do proper Scrum and not be making things up as we go along throughout the sprint, realizing, oh, actually we need this dependency and this dependency, making sure we have everything built out beforehand, so that way we can also properly itemize that list and make sure that everything's given a proper priority, so that way the process goes smoothly. And it's kind of the plan for today.